Joined by one of the GeneralSports.com athletes of the week, it's Harrison Kelly of the wrestling team. Harrison, this past weekend you placed second in the region to secure a spot at Nationals. Take us through the whirlwind of a weekend and how you're able to move on.
Yeah, so I had 4 hard matches against some really highly ranked guys. I came in as the 7th seed. It's kind of funny. I actually didn't even know what my seeding was until after the tournament. I just kind of focused on getting out there for each match, doing what I had to do to, move on to the next round, taking it round by round. And first match, definitely a pretty tough one. Almost got put on my back a couple of times. Just fighting through every position, and like our coaches say, just focusing on getting the next point regardless of the situation of the match or anything like that. Kind of just focusing on what I can do next instead of the overall focus of the weekend.
You were able to stay on the championship side of the bracket. Some guys on your team had to wrestle their way through the consolation bracket to have a chance at that third place match. How pivotal was that to be well rested and ready to go at every match?
Yeah, definitely being well rested really helps. The week leading up to regions, we kind of tapered off a little bit. The day before we ended up having 2 days before we ended up having our team activity day, went out and got in a hot tub, got in an ice bath. Not really training as hard, but just being confident and knowing that we've done all the work that we could leading up to it. Just being able to go out there, be well rested, and really get after it was really helpful. And not having that pressure on me in the third place match to know that I have to either win this or get knocked out was definitely really helpful.
Yourself, you're going to be joined by 2 teammates, Cam Blizzard, Ryan Luth, also going to Nationals. Your coaches named Region Coach of the Year and Assistant Coach of the Year. When you look back at this season and your team at large, what do you take away most from this year?
Just really not being able to do it alone, having a great team behind me, one of the best teams ever in W&L Wrestling history is awesome. Having 2 of the best coaches I've ever had, right behind me. It feels like they're just as committed, if not more than me, to the sport. They're really 2 of the best coaches I've ever had, and being able to train with some of the best guys in the country, being able to train with what I think is one of the best teams in the country. I definitely would not have been able to do any of this without all the guys behind me. So it feels good to be able to share that moment with everyone.
So now you got a little bit of time to rest and recover, get ready for Nationals. What are you going to do over the next week plus to get ready and make sure you're in the best spot possible?
Probably the same thing that I've been doing the entire season, just because you accomplish that goal of qualifying for the national tournament doesn't mean that any of the preparation changes. Kind of doing the same thing, getting in the room, doing the right practice, lifting, having the right nutrition, everything kind of stays the same, and just wrestling better guys now.
It's Harrison Kelly, the wrestling team, one of our GeneralSports.com athletes of the week. Harrison, thanks for joining us, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Now joined by one of the GeneralSports.com athletes of the week, it's Carolyn Todd of the women's indoor track and field team. Carolyn, 2 races this past weekend, 2 wins, 2 personal bests at the ODAC Championships in both the 3K and the 5K. How does it feel to put together a weekend like that?
It feels really good. We've been putting in a lot of great training, and I had some big goals for the weekend. I was really focused on time, and I didn't quite reach my goals, but it's hard not to be happy with how the outcome was, so I'm still very excited.
Both of those times, though, still a couple of personal bests in the events, top 2 in program history in each event. When you look back and realize kind of, okay, I had a good performance on Saturday. Mm-hmm. You said you even felt more comfortable with how you ran on Sunday, even with that 5K already in the legs.
Yeah, I had a lot of people to work with in the 3K. Allison Dell, especially from Lynchburg, is a really strong racer, and she was kind of working with me through the 3K, so I think that's probably what made me feel a little bit better in the second race. I just had a little bit more adrenaline, and I felt really confident, especially after the win on the first day and with how successful our whole team had been. So I think I was just feeling really good. This whole season we've been kind of relaxed and just enjoying ourselves, so going into the race with a lot of confidence was a really good feeling.
Looking at the team as a whole, second place, lots of top performances up and down the lineup, whether it be field events, other track events. When you look back at this season and from more of a larger perspective, what are some of the big things you take away from how your team has produced throughout the year?
Yeah, I think just holistically, we're performing at a really high level in every category. We had the 2 scholar athletes of the meet. We have some really young athletes that are performing incredibly well. We are breaking school records and breaking our PRs left and right. The season has been filled with so many personal successes. So I think no matter what, we are taking away a really good feeling. And going into outdoor, I think all of us feel really confident.
This coming weekend, though, a last chance meet for you to try and qualify for NCAAs. What's going to be the key this weekend in whatever race it may be and to try and secure a spot at Nationals?
Yeah, still deciding on the race, but Parker Hawk and I are going to Boston together, and she's one of my best friends. I think it's going to be a really relaxing and fun trip, so we're just going to enjoy ourselves. And when it comes to racing, I'm just going to focus on the splits and trying to hit them as close as I can every single lap. And I feel pretty confident that it's going to come together, so I'm very excited.
Carolyn Todd of the women's indoor track and field team, one of our generalsports.com athletes of the week. Carolyn, thanks for joining us, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.